Welcome to this special edition of Magic Monday, held on a Sunday. I'm talking to the amazing Dan Bissaka from the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. How are you going, Dan?
Awesome, Tim. Great to be here, mate. Happy Sunday.
Thank you. Same to you too. So Sunshine Coast, for viewers who don't know where that is exactly, where is it?
So here in Queensland, about an hour north of Brisbane, 2 hours north of the Gold Coast. And it's a beautiful place. It really is. It's a lot kind of slower lifestyle than the Gold Coast. I lived down there for 7 years, and Gold Coast now is a city, so it's quite big. It's quite busy, and to be up here on the beautiful Sunshine Coast is an amazing place to live.
And have you always been a Queenslander?
No, I actually moved to the Sunshine Coast when I was around about 10 years old. So I started my schooling off down in south of Sydney, a place near Wollongong. Yep. And then Mum decided she wanted to get the kids out and see, parts of Australia. And so we ended up coming up to the Gold Coast and Surfers Paradise and had some holidays. And then we ventured further north up to the Sunshine Coast, and my mum and my stepfather, Howard, just fell in love with the place, and we ended up, buying a place up here and then eventually building. And then I grew up and finished off my schooling here. And it was just the best decision ever. So very, very grateful that they made the decision to move to the sunny coast.
Nice. Lucky, hey? Always in the warmth. Sounds good. So, Dan, tell me a little bit about your story. I know we're obviously in a business together. And you've had some incredible success, but how did you actually get to this point in your life where you're so successful now?
Yeah, so I definitely wasn't successful right from the start, and it's great that you kind of brought up, when we very first moved up here, because it brings back memories that, I was this kid that I loved the beach, I loved the ocean and the surf, and, I was a member of the Surf Life Saving Association for about 15 years, doing patrols on the weekends and competing, in the Ironman and board races and ski races. And I spent more time down the surf club and the beach than I did at school. I used to wag a bit of school, and, Mum used to pick me up from the bus stop and ask me, how was school today? And I go, oh, it was great, Mum. But I've been at the beach most of the days, and I ended up leaving school at year 10, never ever read a book. And I struggled, with my reading and writing until I was 30 years old, because, I didn't really pay attention at school. I just wanted to, get out, have some fun, enjoy the beach, surround myself around some good mates, and eventually get into the workforce and start to earn some money. I wanted to, own my own car and, earn my own money. And I always had different jobs from, job to job, and, working at the surf club, picking up glasses, as a bar attendant, right through to, where we are today. So I wasn't the most academic kid at school, but, I was a hard worker. I had different jobs and ended up having my own traditional business here on the Sunshine Coast. I had a landscape and design business where I worked on some of the most amazing, gardens and landscaping here on the Sunshine Coast, and, multi-million-dollar homes. And I love to work with my hands. I love to get, my hands dirty, work hard. But I was getting to the age where I was nearly 50 years old, and I was looking for something else. And when this came across my table, it was like, okay, cool. This is something pretty special. I have to really take a good look at this.
And you were also doing FIFO work. That's completely different, obviously, to landscape. So is that prior to the landscape business?
No, it was right in the middle. So what I thought that was going to be my ticket to maybe a bit of financial freedom, where I could go away and work hard and then come back and, have that week off with the family and have a full week of, family time. Obviously, that's why I was working hard, to be able to, get that time back with the kids and the family. But what I found, I ended up getting a job over in Western Australia where it was a 4-week on roster and a 1 week off. So I was losing a day travel either side, taking a day to get over to WA and a day to get back. So I was only home for kind of 5 days out of the month. And I tell you now, man, that was a struggle. That was nearly complete burnout. I still had my landscaping business going on the side. I had guys running that. And then I thought that the freedom was going to come with earning this extra income and working hard, and then, being able to spend more time with the kids. And it ended up, breaking up my marriage. I was married with my previous wife for 26 years. And it was a complete failure in the end. I missed my kids even more. It was the final, straw that broke the camel's back with the relationship and stuff like that. and I knew I had to do something else.
Yeah, it's so true. The thing is, being from Western Australia or in Western Australia, it's so true. And people don't realise that, because I was looking at your shift, you're saying that, it's like you're really only home 60 days of the year or less if you're counting for that travel. And when you put it in that context, you know, like a fifth of the year you're with your family, that's tough. It sounds good. The money's good, but there's a huge compromise.
Yeah, 100%. You know, money's not everything. And what I've worked out is freedom is, and freedom comes in so many different forms. And to be away from your family that much, it's not worth it. I really don't think that roster should be, you know, part of, you know, the code of conduct of what you're actually allowed to do. I've seen so many families, you know, break up, you know, having that roster. It should be an even roster. The amount of time that you're away, you should be home exactly the same amount of time at a minimum. You know, you have to have that quality time with your family. You have to rest your body. You know, you've got to be able to earn the money, obviously, to, you know, provide for your family, live the lifestyle that you want. But there has to be a balance. It's definitely a big juggling act.
Yeah, it's a struggle, isn't it? I'm curious, there must have been a point where, I mean, did you wake up one day, or was there just that moment where it all just, I can't do this anymore, and that made you change to, you know, created this change to where you are now?
Yeah, probably the line in the sand moment for me, Tim, was my daughter was competing at the Australian titles for swimming, and I was the dad that was, you know, every chance I had, I'd be walking up and down the side of that pool, taking her to the swimming training, you know, going to different competitions. And I was just always there for her. And she was always just saying, you know, one day, Dad, I'd love to be able to compete in Australian titles and maybe, you know, get in the finals and something like that. And her turn came around where she got to compete in the Australian titles. And she actually won a gold medal. And I'm starting to get a bit funny about it now because it still chokes me up a bit, you know, thinking that I wasn't there. You know, I was away working, and I missed my daughter winning an Australian gold medal, break an Australian record, and I was away working. And it's not cool, man. It's something that I have to, you know, I've got to live with that. But also my daughter, it wasn't really that fair on her either. You know, she just wanted her dad there, you know, to see her on that first place dice, to take a photo and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, all I could do was pick her up from the airport after the Australian titles were over and, you know, give her a big bunch of flowers and a kiss and a cuddle and, you know, see that gold medal around her neck. And they're the important things that, you know, as a father and a family, you miss out on. And it's not right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. So you're doing landscaping, which is really hard work, and but growing a great business by the sound of it. And then you throw in the middle of that, if that's not enough, you're doing FIFO, and then you know, the moment really it caused a moment where you realise you're just missing out on so much with your family. So share with what's your life like now? I presume it's completely different.
Yeah, completely different, mate. We got started online. Daniel and I have been with Enagic now for 5 years, working with the Freedom Era platform. Yeah. It's definitely chalk and cheese to what we used to have, where I was burnt out 5 years ago. I was kind of over it. My health wasn't really that good either. I was, you know, mentally drained. I was physically drained. I was financially drained, wasn't getting ahead. To 5 years down the track now, Daniel and I have a thriving international team and business. We get to spend so much time with the family whenever we want. If there's something on at the school in the middle of the week, we can go. You know, if my daughters have got something special on and they want Dad to be there, I'm there. You know, we get to take the kids on some amazing holidays now because we've got the, you know, the finances to be able to do that. And we actually went to Bali not that long ago. And we got to the airport with the 4 kids and Daniel and myself, and we thought, man, the kids have never flown business class before. Let's just all upgrade all of us to business class. And we get to, you know, make choices like that. And we flew business class and all the kids sat up there and they thought they were all this and that. And we really had a good time. So it's been a fantastic, you know, journey over the last 5 years, you know, learning how to do digital marketing and work online. But really, the best thing kind of for me, man, I've got my health back. You know, I feel amazing. I feel like I'm back to, you know, my 25, 30-year-old self. You know, I'm nearly 53 this year, and I get to surf every day and really look after, you know, where I want to go and help other people is really important to me, mate.
That's incredible. And it's like, I mean, it's such a cliche, but when I listen to that story, it's like you must wake yourself up every day and go, Is this really a dream, and pinch yourself? Because it's such a transition from where you were. It's just insane. And
Yeah.
you'd strike me. I don't really know your background that much, but from what you're talking about, your trades and things like that, and the position I know you're in now as a leader and communicating with your team and training people and you know, providing motivation and inspiration, it's such a change. And I just imagine you never saw yourself doing that in the future. Is that?
100%. You know, I was the guy when I very first got started. I said, if I've got to talk in front of people, or you know, do a training up on stage, or do a live Zoom, or any of this front end kind of you know, talking about the business, I kind of said to them, you know, it's not for me. I'm not that guy. I'm a bit of an introvert, but then, you know, throughout my journey, and I felt like, man, this has really changed my life in a massive way. You know, coming from the guy left school at year 10, never ever read a book, to now I just love personal development. I love helping other people, love shining the light on the path that, you know, I took from, you know, struggling to read and write to now, you know, being a leader within our online team and the industry. And I get to talk to some of the, you know, the giants in the industry now, and they share their stories, and they come from humble beginnings as well. And I absolutely love it. So I love the personal development kind of journey. And I kind of say, you know, it's an incredible online business, but really it's this hidden, self-belief, self-development course, you know, kind of wrapped up or in a big, you know, kind of surprise package. So it's been an incredible journey for myself.
Awesome. So where do you see yourself in, you know, where's Dan in 2 years, Dan and Danielle, 2 to 5 years out there? How do you see your future coming towards you?
Yeah, so we've been in here now for 5 years, and it's been an incredible kind of journey along the way. We've got an amazing team. So grateful and blessed, obviously, to have you, Tim, as part of that team. And we've built an international team now where our team is growing, you know, every single day. Our business is thriving. We're helping a lot of people. But we kind of look at where we're going in the next 2 years. You know, we've been able to help other people within our team now hit the top rank and earn incredible income and retire their, you know, husbands and wives and all that kind of good stuff. But also, you know, if we look at, you know, 5 years down the track, 10 years down the track, we've got a massive, massive vision, Danielle and I. We actually want to leave a legacy for our children. And I knew my landscaping business wasn't going to be that legacy, you know, business to be able to leave to them. But you know what Danielle and I have been able to build here over the last 5 years, we're going to be able to leave a passive residual income to our kids for life. And Danielle and I have been able to, you know, build our business in a way where we've built out 4 business positions, and we'll be able to leave 1 each to the kids, and they can do whatever they want with it. You know, whether they want, one of my daughters is a vet. She'll be fully qualified next year, and she'll be working at one of the best veterinary clinics in Brisbane. But one day she might want to open up her own clinic, and there'll be some money there for them, you know, for the rest of their lives. So that's our vision, is to be able to leave a legacy, you know, for our kids.
Okay. And so with your help with the community, the amazing community we have and the education, tell me a little bit about that, because I've been in it only a few months now, and I just find it extraordinarily different from anything I've done. And I say that in that way because I've done a lot. So some people come into a community or an educational system and say, this is the most amazing thing, because they haven't actually done anything else before. And it is. So it depends on your level. But I've come into, and my partner, we've both done courses in personal development since teenagers. And I've never struck anything like this that is so well put together. And I was going to say covers everything 100%. If it doesn't, it soon will be coming, or a new version of that. And I just find it an extraordinarily useful and well thought out educational system that can help anyone grow a business. It doesn't have to even be in a Nagic. It can be any business really, but obviously online, some sort of affiliate system that you can take the information we're given and just run with it. And as long as you do the work and keep on going, it's almost like you can't fail. I don't think I've ever said that about anything I've ever been involved in. It's like, yeah, this is not really what we thought it was going to be like, or the product's really bad, or whatever, or the people aren't good. So tell me your experience, because you've been in it for so long, the community and the education system, and it's changed as you've been in it, of course. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so when Danielle and I very first got started 5 years ago, we weren't using this educational platform when we very first got started. And then it kind of evolved into another platform that we saw, oh wow, this is a great educational platform to be able to teach people what we want to do. But then how can we kind of make it our own? How can we make what we've learned with another platform and create what we call now the Freedom Era? And what we've been able to do over the last 3 years is include everything from, from mindset to launching your business to, promoting what we do to scaling, and everything to do with, the inner work and, who you have to be to become the person or the leader or the next level leader to be able to take your business to the next level. And so what we've been able to do is, call out into the online world all of the top people in their fields, whether it's, Facebook ads, all the different kind of leaderships, all the top coaches and healers from around the world that have come in and just, they've spent millions of dollars, paying all these coaches to come in and put all the information and energy and vibration and love into an amazing community. And the ripple effect has just gone right through our whole community with an incredible abundance mindset where we all help each other. Whether you're in my team or not, it doesn't matter. We're going to help you. Whether we can shine the light on our journey, how we've been able to have a great success roadmap, and we help the newest person get started. So whether you've done anything like this before and you're brand new online and you're just very, very first getting started, we hold your hand and we kind of get you step by step right through up until where you want to take it. Whether you want to take it, you might just want to take it to a side income that's, might be able to help your, traditional job or business that you've got going, and it's just an extra, $1,000 or $2,000 a month. Right into where some of the leaders are now, they're earning extra, $100,000 a month. And that's what the platform is being able to build for. From the newest person just getting started, needs maybe a little bit of mindset work, a bit of leadership and some guidance and some coaching, how to build your business and scale it out and build a brand online, right through, to the top affiliates and the coaches in our business that are, 7-figure earners and got an incredible international team. So very, very blessed to be part of the Freedom Era platform, but also most of all, really, really grateful to be surrounded around these, like-minded people that, just want to help other people succeed.
That is amazing. The amount of people who keep succeeding, or you keep seeing faces popping up. We've reached this level. We've reached that level. It's just continuous. And some other programs I've seen, it's like occasionally someone will pop up and they've done something, maybe earn $200 a month or something, and then that's it for a couple of weeks and nothing. But this is almost continuous. And in talking with it's what you were saying before reminds me, and I'm talking to some other people in interviews, it's like they've started off thinking, oh, I'll just do this as a bit of a side hustle. And I don't know whether that's probably a mental attitude going forward, but they started off as this, oh, I'll just do this as a bit of a side hustle. And as they're going along, they're going, holy smoke, the potential for this is awesome. And the potential to earn money, a lot of money, but also just the personal growth and everything else, they've gone, this is a whole different thing to what I thought it was going to be. And they just dive right in and the success comes. And that's I'm attributing that to the founders, the people who run the program, people like yourself, the leaders, the community. It's almost like you can't fail. You can, but if you do those things, as I said, but it's just this, I see it in their eyes like, yeah, I thought I was just doing this part-time thing as a side hustle. Now this is my full hustle. The job's the side hustle, and they just take off, and it's quite extraordinary, really.
It is, and you're so right, Tim. It does come, from the top. Whoever put, the platform together, Rebecca, Christy and Clint. Yeah. Their energy and what they're here to do to serve other people. They don't need to do this. They've got that much amount of, residual passive income. Their business is booming. They didn't have to create a platform to help others. But this is the reason why they're doing what they're doing is they're helping the newest person. Whether, we've seen people that have been forced into, taking this business on full time with the lockdowns. They were, out of their job. They, didn't want to, comply with some of the mandates and be forced into a few things. And then they've taken this on full time, and it's like our business absolutely boomed in the lockdowns. There was, the Google search for working online went up 660%. And everybody was reaching out to us and said, okay, you need to show us this online thing. I've just been, booted out of my job. I can't go to work, blah, blah, blah. Can you tell me more about what you guys are doing? And people are coming into our platform and going, holy smokes, like you said, like, how come you didn't tell me about this sooner? It's like, yeah, we use attraction marketing. We don't actually go out and, make a list and, bother our friends and family. We post on social media, and when people are ready to have a look at what we do, they actually reach out to us. So if you're kind of looking at what Tim's doing and you're seeing that he's working online and you're thinking, hang on a sec, what's Tim up to? Man, just reach out. That's what we do. Attraction marketing is an incredible thing. We get to, be our true, authentic selves. And then over time, people just reach out and ask, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's awesome. So is there anything I could have asked you that I didn't ask you that you would have liked me to ask you just as we wind up?
I don't know. Daniel and I have a thing in the way we've been able to build our business and brand. We always say, the more fun we have, the more money we make. And that's just a motto that we do. We promote our lifestyle. We don't, promote a lot about the business and the products and all that kind of stuff. We're just living our lives every single day. And Daniel and I have the most fun, abundant life where now we get to spend time with the people that we love the most. We get to go out on our jet skis. We get to have fun with our friends. And that's what I want people to really understand is, if you've got something in your heart that you really want to do, you're a fun-loving kind of person, and you want to surround yourself around an incredible community, remember this saying, the more fun you have, the more money you can make. And that's what Daniel and I have been able to do over the last 5 years. We're just having fun, living our lives, helping other people along the way. And it's been an incredible journey and an amazing, good decision.
Fantastic. Thanks, Dan. So that is amazing. And thank you for providing all that information. I'm so appreciative of your information and the way you just come online and can help people. And so I look forward to chatting with you in the future and chatting just in general as we do together sometimes. So have a great day. Have fun. Are you going surfing today?
Yes, for sure. I will have a surf later on today. I'm just waiting for the tide. It's good to, now have the time freedom where you can go surfing when the wind's right, the tide's right, the time is right. And we do have a lunch that we're going to as well today. So it's great that, time freedom is probably the best thing that's come out of this now. It gives us some choices and some decisions, but I'll be definitely jumping in the surf today.
Awesome. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate that.
My pleasure, Tim. Take care, buddy.
We'll speak soon. See ya. Bye.
Good, mate. Bye.